previous discussions which we have had. In fact, it is a series, and today is the third part of the series on communication style. And well, communication style is the way people express themselves when they talk and when they interact with people. And it also includes both the words, non-body language, the way we, in a way, communicate through our non-body language as well. So when we talk about communication style, it is not only limited to the words that we speak, but it also includes the non-verbal language, that we try to, in a way, portray while we are interacting with people. And this particular topic, even though this topic is mainly for the students of BLI students, however, the topic, communication skills, and more so, communication style is a very important, part, not only for the students of BLIS, but also students across disciplines. And in fact, it is also very much important even for the faculty members to understand this particular topic, because there are, many times we may be showcasing the wrong communication styles, and because of which we are not able to maybe communicate well with our students, or we are not able to communicate well with our colleagues and also the college or university students. Hence, it becomes very important for students and teachers across disciplines to understand communication style and also put forward the right style of communication so that it can create a better and impactful, in a way, transformational impact, while we are communicating with people. And that's the way it can enhance our relationship. It can also enhance the way we communicate with the people. Yes. And, well, reflections of what we have discussed earlier in the previous series. We have discussed about passive style of communication. We have also covered aggressive style of communication. We also have discussed about passive-aggressive style of communication. And of course, today it is centered, the focus is on assertive style of communication. However, I think it is important for us to recap what have been discussed in the previous classes in order to help us understand better on the topic that is focused today, that is assertive style of communication. Well, in the previous class, in the previous series, we have discussed on passive style of communication. And passive style of communication is where an individual is unable to, in a way, express his or her needs, and also is unable to confidently put forward his word. And it is also a style of communication where you put your needs below others because you are not confident. And because you are not confident and you are submissive, and because of which you are unable to confidently assert your rights, assert your needs, and because of which you are also unable to, in a way, create a better impact. And like it was discussed in the previous classes, that the characteristics of passive style of communication, that is like, one is like they are afraid to disagree. They are afraid to disagree. They feel that by disagreeing with others, it may hurt the other person. So they tend to, disagree with others. They just, in a way, agree with whatever people says. And the other one is like feeling guilty to say no. Since they are afraid to say no, and since they are also afraid to say, they are also feeling guilty of saying no, that creates actually a lot of problem for people who are passive style of communicator. Because like, unless and until we are able to assert our rights, unless and until we are able to say no, we will continue to put ourselves in various problems, and in a way that will also create a negative impact in the way we communicate with others. And they are also showcasing a submissive characteristics, and they also have a problem in saying, they have a problem in asking for help from others because they are not confident. Because they are not confident, they are unable to seek help from others. And also, not only having a problem in seeking help from others, but also they have a tendency of having a problem of taking a responsibility. So these are some of the characteristics of passive style of communication. And for example, speaking in the context of library, for example, you are working in a library, and there are many students or users coming to the library, and if one showcases such type of characteristics, I think it will definitely not give a good impression to the users, and that definitely will affect the image of the library, and ultimately it will affect the functioning of the library. Hence, it is important, for not only, of course, as I have said, not only for the people working in the library, but also for everybody to understand and to know and to identify, such kind of style of communication so that you can improvise. And coming to the next style of communication style, which was also discussed, that is an aggressive style of communication. And that is like, aggressive style of communication tend to put themselves above others. They tend to put themselves others. And when I say they put themselves above others, means like in terms of their needs, in terms of their interests, they tend to center only on their needs, above others, which means they don't care about others. They only are focused on their needs, on their interest, and so forth. And sometimes to an extent that putting themselves inappropriately. And so some of the characteristics of aggressive communication styles are like demanding rather than asking, right? Anyway, the way they come and request you, the way they come and approach you is more demanding than asking or requesting. And another one is like they are arrogant in their approach, in their outlook, and they tend to be controlling others while they are, anyway, communicating in the social circle, maybe in the workplace, or even in the university or college setup. They tend to showcase arrogance, dominance, controlling, so, and also abusive as well. And so like this type of characteristics definitely do not create a good impression. And actually many people may be, in a way, having this style of communication style, that is aggressive style of communication style, but they may not know They may not know that they are putting forward an aggressive style of communication. That is also the reason why it is important for us to identify one style of communication so that we can, in a way, refine it, fine-tune it, and we can put forward the right style of communication, and that will help us to move further, creating a better impression, in the way we communicate with others. And again, putting the aggressive style of communication in context to library service. Example like you are working in a library and you are serving the students and you are putting forward the style of communication that is like aggressive style of communication. In the way you communicate with others is controlling. In the way you communicating with others is like, in a way, demanding and also rather abusive. I think it will definitely not create a positive image of the library, and it will definitely create a wrong impression to the library users, and as a result, it may affect the functioning of the library. Hence, it is important that we put forward the right style of communication in the way we communicate with the library users and also colleagues as well. And the other part of communication styles, which we have also discussed, is the passive aggressive style of communication. This is a rather complex style of communication because it is subtle, in the passive-aggressive style of communication. It is subtle, making others, people feel bad. And some of the characteristics of passive-aggressive style of communications are bitterness. Even though they may appear to be sweet outside, there's a bitterness inside them. Hostility, sarcasm, pessimism, constantly complaining, and victim mentality, and resentful, blaming others, and also manipulative, and also not willing to take responsibility. And even though in a passive aggressive style of communication, we also often refer to it as a double face, because on the surface it looks, it may appears to be friendly, it may appears to be sweet, but the other side, the surface appears like that, but otherwise they are resentful, they are full of bitterness, and they have a double kind of a standard. That's what we talk about it. Yeah. So likewise, putting this in the context of library services, definitely, if one is showcasing a passive-aggressive style of communication, it will definitely not create a positive image or a positive impression at the workplace. Hence, it is important that we put forward, we understand our own style of communication, and we try to put forward the right style of communication. And of course, today's main focus is on the assertive style of communication, which is considered to be the healthiest and the best style of communication. Why assertive style of communication is considered to be the best style of communication? It is because when your style of communication is assertive, you are able to put forward yourself confidently. You are also respecting not only your rights, your needs and interests, but also respecting the rights, interests, and the needs of others. So this is also the reason why assertive style of communication is considered to be the best style of communication. And when you put forward the assertive style of communication, because you are being honest, you are also in a way respecting not only your rights, respecting and protecting not only your rights, but also you're respecting the rights and the needs of others. And so this is a very healthy style of communication. And some of the characteristics of assertive style of communication is confidence, because they don't have anything to hide, because they are being honest, so they are able to put forward confidence in their style. And the second one is a collaboration and celebration of others' success. Because when you are honest, when you're confident, and when you are respecting others, it definitely gives a good impression. As a result, people like to collaborate with you, and that way it really helps the individual to move further, be in the career and even as a students in the college and universities as well. And the characteristics, one of the characteristics is like celebrating others, means like you are not affected by the success of others. You celebrate, you enjoy, because there are people who are not very happy with one's success, other's success. But people who are assertive style of communication, they showcase a celebration not only in their success, but also in the success of others. And like another one is like they are able to confidently stand on what they believe, and as I said, respectful of their rights, needs, and the rights of others. And as I said, assertive style of communication is definitely the best style of communication, and putting forward not only in the library service, but wherever it may be at a workplace, if you put forward the assertive style of communication, I think it will help the individual to go farther, in their career and in their personal life as well. And another thing is like a communication style and their main focus. Example like, people who are assertive, people who are aggressive, one of their main focus is on beating others or controlling others, which means to say like in every of their interaction with others, one of their main focus is how to beat others and how to control others. And the other passive style of communication, one of them, their main focus is not getting hurt, right? Because since their focus is not getting hurt, they are also, as I have mentioned, unable to say no. And of course, when you are supposed to say no, but if you are unable to say no, you ended up taking up extra responsibility, which you might not be able to give your best. And as a result, it can harm, it can damage your image as well. And the other one is the passive aggressive style of communication. One of their main focus is, making other people feel bad and avoiding responsibility. And the assertive style of communication, their main focus is getting the best possible outcome, in every of the situation that they interact with people. Their main focus is, how do I get the best out of this interaction, and so forth. So another, like coming back to communication styles in context to respect. For example, like people who are aggressive, they have too much respect for themselves. They have too much respect for themselves and less respect for others. Whereas people who are passive in their style of communication, they have very less respect on themselves and respect for others. So there's a huge contrast between aggressive style of communication and the passive style of communication. Among the aggressive style of communication, they have too much self-respect, but they don't have a respect for others. But in the passive style of communication, they don't have respect for themselves, but they have too much respect for others. And then the third one is the passive aggressive style of communication. Here, they neither have a respect for themselves and neither have respect for themselves nor respect for others. And whereas assertive style of communication, they not only have high respect on themselves, but also they have a high respect on others. And I think out of this 4 style of communication, and if we look at it, if we understand, it is the assertive style of communication, which is balanced, which is not only balanced, but it's also progressive. It is also a kind of a character that suits very well, blending well with others. So that's the reason why people who are assertive style of communication, people who have this style of communication are able to move further, not only in the social life, but also in the professional life. And now we will discuss about maybe why assertive style of communication is the best. I have already mentioned about all the 4 major style of communication, and we have already discussed the other 3. And so now, why assertive style of communication is the best? Yes, as I have mentioned, assertive style of communication definitely is considered to be the best style of communication among the 4, because it is a style that not only have a respect for oneself, but also have a respect for others. And it is also a style where you showcase confidence in the way you communicate with others. And it is also a style, where you showcase honesty, where you are also able to put your needs and the needs of others. It's like a quite balanced, as you understand the style of communication. It is very balanced, and because of which it is always considered to be the best style of communication. And here it is a style that fosters respect and trust. It is a style where there's a fostering of trust and respect. It is a style that enables, to build relationship, because if you are showcasing this kind of this type of characteristics in your personality, definitely you will become likable by others. However, if you are showcasing aggressive style of communication, people may not like to meet you again because you are so aggressive, you are hostile, you are controlling and abusive as well. But in assertive style of communication, you respect for others. You respect the space of you respect your own space, also respect the space of others, and you are very balanced in your approach. And so another one is if you showcase assertive style of communication, it helps in conflict resolution, because you are being honest, you are being respectful, you are also putting forward a very balanced approach. It helps in controlling conflict, or rather it also helps you in any conflict resolution. Because of the way you put forward, you are able to blend well with others without any kind of hard feelings and conflicts. And so, how to be assertive while communicating? How to develop an assertive style of communication while we are communicating? How to, in a way, to be assertive. One is like, I think it's so important for us to identify our style of communication, because many times one may be a teacher, one may be a very elderly, or may not know the style of their own style of communication, and because of which it creates a problem in relationships. Like the way I said, if you are showcasing a passive style of communication, if you are showcasing aggressive style of communication, if you are showcasing passive-aggressive style of communication, it really doesn't give a healthy, outlook. It doesn't give a positive image. Hence, it is important that we identify what style of communication are we showcasing. One is like we can ask for feedback from others. We can always ask others like that. You can ask others like to help you know whether you are aggressive in your style of communication, or whether you are passive in your style of communication, or whether you are assertive in your style of communication. So when we are aware of ourselves, when we know our own style of communication style, we will be able to, in a way, fine-tune them. We'll be able to fine-tune them, and we can put forward, we can practice the right kind of style of communication. In fact, like if you're habitual of using aggressive style of communication for a very long time, even after you come to know that your style of communication is aggressive, it will be very hard for you to overcome the aggressive style of communication overnight. It takes time. You need to first identify your style of communication through asking feedbacks, and these days there are also a lot of, we can have our own video recording, and we can identify through our body language, we can identify our own style through the language, that the words and the language we use, the body language that we showcase, and the tone of voice that we put forward. So all these things, it can help us to identify our own style of communication, and that way we can slowly practice, put forward the right style of communication. And as you continue to be aware and practice, definitely it will help an individual to overcome negative style of communication. Another one is like active listening. Active listening, because when you listen, you are able to listen to others, because one is like, because you respect the other person. You are respecting what the other person is sharing, and by in a way listening well, you are able to also create a better impression. And another one is like setting a boundary, not only for your personal space, but also respecting the space of others. So that way you can overcome, put forward the right practice. And of course, importance of understanding and using the right style of communication. Personal life, the benefits are like, it helps us in building better relationships. It also helps us in conflict resolutions, and it also helps us to express our needs and emotions, and also it also helps us in boosting confidence. And in the academic life, it improves comprehension, enhance writing and speaking skills, and better collaboration because of your character, the way you carry yourself. You are able to gel well others, and others would like to collaborate with you, and increase confidence in learning and stronger critical thinking. And in the professional life, it definitely helps the individual in a career advancement, increase in productivity, better teamwork, enhanced network, stronger leadership. So these are some of the important points on communication styles, and most importantly on the assertive style of communication. So with this, we come to the end of our today's teleconference session. Thank you very much.